Please, go ahead. Arizona State is now with us. The head coach, Bobby Hurley, has also Remy Martin and Zylan Cheatham with him. We're going to ask Bobby to make a statement on the game, and then we'll go to questions for all three members of the Sun Devils up here. Bobby, please.
I'm just going to start. I'm super proud of my guys and the effort in the season that they have, and the non-conference wins and big-time wins in the conference semifinals, 23 wins. They've taken another big step for Arizona State basketball, and in the process, they've poured their heart and soul into our culture, which is going to filter, through future Arizona State basketball teams. So, the legacy of a guy like Zylan Cheatham is immeasurable for what it's going to mean, for us moving forward as a program. Just so proud of my team. These two guys to my left touched on Zylan. Remy Martin is one of the greatest competitors and warriors. Guy that averaged 29 points versus Arizona in 2 games this year. So it's very unfortunate. Tough luck for him early in that Oregon game where he's a fraction of himself. So but he gutted it out for his teammates because he's a winner and he cares about his teammates. Even if that meant that he was, nothing like he was and such a big part of our success this year. Continue with, I think the world of Nate Oates as a coach, as a person, as what he's done for Buffalo basketball and how his personality rubbed off on how hard his team competes and plays the game. Otherwise, I'll answer any questions at this point about Buffalo, but I'm just not going to specifically talk about me and Nate Oates because this is not about us. This is for me about Buffalo advancing and good luck to Buffalo, and we'll be rooting for them. I will be, and it's more about my team and the guys that I coach tonight. But I'd be happy to discuss any specific particulars of the game tonight.
I'm going to start on the right-hand side. Thank you.
George Schroeder, USA Today. Just would like your estimation, having seen those guys up close and personal now, how good do you think they are?
Yeah, I just thought, we started the game well, and we were there. It was like 14-14, and then they hit another gear. And, what we did to teams all year was out-rebound them. We were one of the best rebounding teams in the country this year, and they were just quicker to the ball than we were in the first half. And their pressure is disruptive. Their guards get after you and pressure you, so they take you out of some of your offense. But it was more the second chance points. We were outscored by 9 in that department in the first half, and being down 13, and usually we're on the other side of that number. So it just shows you how hard they play, how hard they compete, and then they're an older team. They have a bunch of seniors that have been to the tournament, that have won championships, so they expect to win. It's no accident, they've won 32 games.
Yep, right here, and then front row.
Coach, what did Zylan's leadership mean to the team this season, and how can you make up for that moving forward, making up for that absence moving forward?
Well, I mean, you just hope that, I loved what I saw out of Tayshaun Cherry the last 2 games in the tournament, and that may not reflect in points, but he's got a world of ability, and I just hope he was paying close attention to what Zylan does on a day in and day out basis. Just how he shows up to practice, how he communicates, his attitude, his presence, his communication, his competitive drive. He's not afraid of any big moment. He's unselfish. Not a guy that after a game I'm surprised there's a box score in front of him right now, because he's not the guy to go look for the box score, see how many shot attempts he has. So, I mean, there's so many things that he's done. He's a great person. To deal with everything that he's gone through in his personal life this season, and to be able to be there for his teammates and be that type of player, he's got the makeup that's off the charts. He's going to be a success, at the NBA level, because someone's going to get lucky to have him on their team in a few months, and then beyond basketball, he's going to be a success. I wouldn't be surprised to see him doing CBS or TNT game, because Zeke could talk and communicate, and he's got that charisma about him. So,
This is for Zylan. We talked about you coming home and wanting to put ASU basketball back on the map. Now that it's over, what are your thoughts about what you've done in this program, and are you happy with where you've left it?
Yeah, actually, I was just talking to Bobby about that. Obviously, I ended on not the most ideal situation. I mean, I left my heart on the floor. I hope my guys, like he said, kind of realized the impact that I had on them as far as competing every day, bringing it every day, being a positive leader, just being a positive person and trying to be a role model and better myself. But as far as the mark I've left on this program, I mean, I hope my fans and I hope the city remembers me in a positive light. I think we're going in the right direction. I think we've taken another step in the right direction as far as from last year to this year. So to leave the program in the hands of guys like Remy, Romello, Tayshaun, I mean, the list goes on and on. I know the future is extremely bright, and I know this isn't the end of Arizona State basketball.
This is a question for Bobby. I know it's hard, easier said than done, not to press and not to be impatient when you're down big early, but did you feel that maybe the impatience played just as much as factors of fatigue?
I mean, I just thought we hit a stretch where, their pressure, took us out of offense some, and we might have took a few poor shots. We only had 4 turnovers at halftime. I think it was more our defense. We just didn't get stops. They had 43 points or something, 44 at half, and that's too many in a game like this. And then it was the second chance points.
Bobby, you guys didn't shoot the ball well from 3 today. When you look back over the course of the season, just how much did that challenge you guys, just your overall shooting from the perimeter?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's kind of gone in some of our games that haven't gone our way. You could look at that statistic, and it seems like there's a relationship between us having success and making a few more threes than we're able to make, especially, or I think we were 0 for 9 at halftime, so we were in the hole 13. We couldn't get any of those to go down. So, but everything like that matters in games like this.
Remy, you're such a competitor, and just the way that you got hurt against Oregon, it had to be somewhat of a disappointment to have to go into the tournament in that kind of a way. Now that it's over, just how do you reflect on just how you were just able to kind of push through it and play out there?
Well, the people around me were able to, keep me up, keep me positive, and that's why what's so special about this group is that, just because, one man's down, it doesn't stop the show. They're still positive. They're still here to pick me up, and, this guy right here and Coach, were there to always tell me, like, I'm still okay, I'm still fine, and it was just a positive energy that, they were giving me. I didn't get the job done today, but, I think we'll be back next year.
We have 3 minutes left in this session. We have at least 2 questions up. Go, please.
Bobby, I saw you embrace Nick Perkins in the handshake line. What do you think about his game and the player he's become?
Well, I kind of said to Nick, like, wow, you've really come a long way since and grown up since I saw you in high school. I mean, he's a man out there. Just you wouldn't think a guy, and that was one of the things. And again, Nate did a lot of the heavy lifting with recruiting Nick. I'm not taking any responsibility for that. But you could see in his play that he, for a big, strong guy, he had such a soft touch, and he made some big plays on offense for Buffalo and provided a real physical presence, around the basket. So he's had a great career. I'm very happy for Nick.
Bobby, you touched on this in your opening statement, but through 4 years, just where would you say the program is at this point?
I mean, it's to the point where, we have the right people in the locker room and the right culture, guys that care and value winning and competing. We had multiple guys crying in the locker room because if you invest what you invest and you invest your heart and soul in something, then you risk that your heart's going to get broken, and that's what happened today. These guys put so much work and care so much for each other and to win and laid it on the line. That's why we're an NCAA tournament team. That's why we won a game in the NCAA tournament. That's why, we advanced in the Pac-12 tournament and had the misfortune of having Remy injure himself is such a key part of what we're doing. So I feel